Okay, so it's a little bit late, but here we come again for the replays of the week. It's Raining Aces, and this is for the last week of December. Now I've had to split this one up again into numerous parts, and this part is just going to focus purely on the lower tiers. Those are tiers 1 to 5, and then we're going to do the mid tiers and the higher tiers, and finally the TDs, because you guys are just playing too well. So without further ado, let's look at your replays in the gallery. Hello again everybody, and welcome back to Fujit's Blitz. And yes, I know we had a bit of a break during Christmas and New Year, but we're back with a vengeance. Unfortunately, we're playing catch up, and this is the Aces of the Week for the last week of December. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it, and let's start the ball rolling with ClanColonelX of Chop 2. Who is a regular contributor to my channel and has provided lots of replays in the past. Now here he is going out in the T1E6, the American Tier 2 light collector tank that everybody should have got as a free Christmas gift from Wargaming. Now I'm fair to say that most people got rid of it immediately for the small amount of gold that it had, but some people like ClanColonelX decided to roll out in it. And to be honest with you, it's not a bad little tank. Okay, you've got to wait an eternity to get into the game because it's clearly a tier 2, and you know, with Wargaming sort of nerfing and removing most of the lower tiers, it was pretty surprising that they gave a tier 2 away as a freebie. But it happens, and you should never knock a freebie in my opinion. So here is ClanColonelX rolling out on Mirage in his free Christmas gift from Wargaming, and he's giving that M5 Stuart a bit of a hard time. But what about the tank? Well, it's got 320 HP, it dishes out damage of 403 on its AP rounds, and you can only get the standard HP. It's got pretty poor penetration with only 33, it does a damage of only 30, but it's got burst damage of 60. That's not too bad because obviously it's a autoloader with a double clip. As for the rate of fire, well, it's not too bad. It's just shy of 8.5 seconds. There are 2 rounds in the magazine, and the reload time between the 2 shells is just shy of a second. Its gun depression is not too bad either, with a good 10 degrees, and the speed is approximately 43 kilometers an hour. All in all, it's not a bad tank. It's a generally good all-rounder, especially for tier 2. Now, you all know that since 5.5, everything has been lowered anyway. The damage has been lowered, and you know, the gameplay has just been sort of condensed to make it longer, to make sure that the battles take longer than 2 minutes, which in fairness is not a bad thing to do for new players. Now, the other thing I want to touch on, obviously there was a big thing and a lot of fuss made about seal clubbing by Wargaming, which is why they did what they did with 5.5. Well, in fairness, ClanColonelX is a good player, and he's played a lot more battles than just, you know, a couple of thousand. So it beggars belief why they would give you a free tank, which by all means you've got to go out and seal club in, to be honest with you, if the overall aim is to not seal club. But that's a different story, a different thing for a different day. And you know, lots of people are going to turn around and say, oh, but this is a seal clubber's tank now. Well, yeah, it is, but it was given with the blessing of Wargaming, so you can't really complain too much about seal clubbing anymore. Anyway, back to ClanColonelX in his T1E6, and as you can see here, he's already done 200 damage, he's got 1 kill, and his team is sort of got less guns on the battlefield than the other team, but that's not going to hurt ClanColonelX. There's the Panzer III, quite not as formidable as it used to be, but still formidable at tier 2. And here we go. You shouldn't ram it in that little thing because you just haven't got the armor. What about the T46? That is a shadow of its former self, unfortunately. A beautiful tank used to be, Not anymore. Pretty tricky, and a lot of people struggle in it nowadays. And I'm not surprised, because ClanColonelX is going to take him out, and he gets kill number 2. Okay, it's tier 2, guys. You're not going to get massive damage rolls in this tier anymore. I mean, 323 is a big damage roll for this tank. In fact, at tier 2 now, if you get to 1,000 damage, boy, are you doing pretty well. It's pretty difficult to do, especially since they've nerfed the amount of damage coming out of these guns. When you've only got a damage of 30, okay, 60 if you've got the burst damage, it's going to take you a while, isn't it, really, to get there. But as you can see, Wargaming's aim, which was to slow the game down, has worked. We've only got 2 minutes left of the game, and there's still 4 tanks left to go. So that has actually worked. You know, it's a good thing, because one of the problems that we were facing, and one of the points of contention I had, is that games were lasting literally 2 minutes. Now they're lasting almost the full 7 minutes in the lower tiers, which isn't bad. It gets new players used to the fact that they need to take their time, that everything isn't just YOLO, rush and die within the first 30 seconds. And that's one thing I do applaud. Anyway, so ClanColonelX is now done 580 damage. He's got 3 kills. He's now looking at that other T1E6. What a shot! I mean, that's just a fantastic shot, and a really good 4th kill. There's the Cruiser 3. He's lined up now. That's a 1 shot. Did he get him? Yes, he did. Kill number 5. As I say, I mean, he's got 5 kills. He's done 630 damage. He's going to be hard pressed to get to that 1,000 damage in this tier. But that's not the point anymore. We know he's going to get a mastery. It's in the bottom of the picture, and I also told you it's aces of the week, so we know he gets the mastery. There's the T2, which is still a pretty formidable tank at this tier, to be honest with you. Its armor, as you can see, is still pretty trolly, and there's not much that ClanColonelX can aim at apart from those little side vent-y type things on the flanks of the tank. And he's doing well. It's a big 35 roll there, and another 33 roll, so you can see that the gun on this thing is pretty accurate, even over distance. Okay, it loses a little bit in dispersion, but not that much, to be fair. And as you can see, he's giving this D2 a hard time. Okay, the D2 now decides that... Oh, he doesn't decide that. I thought he was going to decide to move out of there because he's just achieving nothing, and eventually he goes. ClanColonelX doesn't get him, but he gets 5 kills. He does 800 damage. I mean, that is just a fantastic ace in this tank. And I'd like to thank ClanColonelX of Chop2 for providing that replay and showing us what you can do in the free tank, which, don't forget, it was free, so don't knock it that much. Anyway, moving on. Next up, we've got a very good friend of mine from my clan, MajorBlink of FTC1, rolling out in the Chiha, the very popular Chinese tier 3 medium here on the EU server. Now, I say it's popular because this is one of 2 replays that I've got of this tank in this review. Sorry, it's not a review, is it? In this showcase. And here he is on mines, rolling out in this little medium, which, to be fair, is a really good tank. Let's have a look at a bit about the tank. Okay, its HP is 430. It does a DPM of 561. It's got a penetration, which is off the charts for this tier, at 81. Its damage is 45. And, it's got a really decent rate of fire. It's got a reload time of just shy of 5 seconds. And if you stick in the APR, okay, your penetration goes up to 130, but your damage drops down, because it does, just the way it happens. Now, it comes with 2 guns. It comes with a tier 2 45mm 20K and a tier 4 47mm gun type 1. And in this one, MajorBlink has got the tier 4 gun in there. What else have we got about this time? Well, the aim time's not too bad, the dispersion's not too bad, the gun depression's a reasonable 9%, and the speed is around 40 kilometers an hour. So all in all, it's quite a good all-round tier 3, which is what makes it popular. And as I said, a lot of people are enjoying this tank at the moment. And as we can see here, MajorBlink has already done 271 damage. He's sort of he was taking the hill, and then he's decided to roll back and look at this freebie from Wargaming, the T1E6, who is trying to give the TDs up there camping a bit of a hard time, completely oblivious to MajorBlink. Now, just to point you out again, MajorBlink is got too many games to be facing bots, so all these are real players before anybody mentions it, and before you even start arguing that he's a seal clubber, guys, there are T1E6s in this game, and I did check the teams, and to be honest with you, it's a fair rated battle. He is not seal clubbing. They are all around the same level with the same amount of battles. So MajorBlink has done 457 now. He's now going to try and chase down this Cruiser 3, which is a pretty formidable target still. It's quite a good tank. In fact, I like the Cruiser 3. It's a really good British tank at this tier. And as you can see, you know, he's giving this Chiha a bit of a hard time. But on the other hand, MajorBlink is also giving the Cruiser 3 equally a hard time. And he's down to, well, realistically a one-shot, but he may not be. He may be a two-shot. No, he's a one-shot nowadays. 44, yeah, it's just the top high-end roll on this Chiha with this gun. So, 644 damage, 1 kill, and at the moment his team are in a good position. They have got 2 more guns on the battlefield over the enemy. And as you can see, the enemy here is, some of them have gone up on the hill and they've taken the hill, but they're not really dominating, which is interesting because generally on this map, if you win the hill, you win the game. So it's just a bit, I don't know really, they haven't really used the hill to their advantage, as you can see. This has allowed MajorBlink to get up there behind this D2 and plow shots into him with impunity. And the D2 is trying his best to get a shot onto MajorBlink, but to no avail. I mean, he's just in a really good position. Great bounce there, or he bounces the D2 back, but because his reload is so quick, he should be able to finish him off in short order, and he does. So, 850 damage, 2 kills. Next in his sights is the Panzer III. He's now a one-shot. This could be kill number 3, and the Panzer III is oblivious, and he goes back to the garage to re-evaluate this tier. Here comes another Chiha, and MajorBlink is now in a bit of a brawl. They are going to sort of thrash it out together. 2 Chihas. He's bouncing quite a few shots there, and he's managing to penetrate the Chiha, and he gets kill number 4. It's fair to say that MajorBlink really dominated that hill there, even though he didn't go up the hill to begin with. A Wowders of Mastery, just over 1,000 damage, and 4 kills to his name. What a fantastic game, and I'd like to thank MajorBlink for sharing that replay with us. Moving on, next we've got another good friend of mine, StanleytheFort of FTC5, which is an affiliated clan of my clan FTC1. Here he is rolling out in the Crusader, the British Tier 5 Light, again on the EU server. Now, this tank I really do like. It's got a HP of 620, it's got a DPM of 1615, it's got great penetration at 130, it's got good damage on the standard AP at 90. If you stick in the APCR, then the penetration goes up to 180, but the damage drops down to 80. And if you've got the HE in there, then the damage jumps up to 100, but clearly drops down a lot on the penetration. As for the reload time, well, it's just shy of 3.5 seconds. Its rate of fire is 17.95, and it's got not bad gun depression at 12 degrees, which for this tank is fantastic. The speed, you're going to get around 42 out of it. Again, this tank comes with 2 guns. If you've got the QF 2-pounder Mark 10, which is the tier 4 gun, it's not too bad, but most people prefer the QF 6-pounder Mark 5, which is a tier 5 gun. And as you can see here, is a highly effective gun and allows StanleytheFort to dispatch that litard in very short order. Okay, the Panzer 4D, he looks a bit AFK, not to worry, we'll just take him out anyway. It's 3 hit points, and he's going to go down there, and look at this, okay, it's AFK. So, you know, I'm not going to comment too much on it. It's just 3 hit points and 3 damage in 3 everything, basically. So, there he goes, kill number 2, just done over 1,000 damage. The brawl of the battle, or the most of the battle, is clearly over where the sea cap would be, or in the middle area of this map. So Stanley the Fort, along with his toon mate, which is the plastic noob, another good friend of mine, they are making their way over to where all the action is. And as you can see, there's a KV-1, and Stanley the Fort is going to put himself in a really good position here, so he can get shots on the KV-1. Oh, he misses that one, but not to worry. You can thread these shots through there because the British guns can do that. The accuracy on them is fantastic. Now, don't get me wrong, those are two pretty difficult tanks. The Stug 3G is a good tank, and the KV-1, okay, it's not as good as it used to be, but it's still pretty formidable. And you've also got a Churchill 1 over there, which really is a shadow of its former self, as I've just stated in a review video posted recently. Finally, the KV-1 goes, not because of Stanley the Fort, but because of his toon mate, Plastic Noob. They're looking good here. It's 3 against 3. All Plastic Noob is gone. So Stanley the Fort is now without his toon mate, but it's now still 3 against 3, and there's a T1 Heavy. You can get some great shots into the side there. He's getting some really good eye alpha rolls, as you can see. They're all around the 80 mark, which is pretty good for this tank. And the reload on this is spectacular. And he's able to dispatch the T1 Heavy in a pretty short time. There's another T1 Heavy looking very healthy. He's going to stick his nose on the corner. Gets a bounce, but he gets a bounce back in the other direction. What about now? Stick in the APCR. Get that penetration. You're going to lose the damage though. Not to worry, because sometimes penetration is actually more important than the amount of damage that you dish out. Anyway, he's had to reevaluate, and he's moving round to try and get around the back of this T1 Heavy. It's now 2 against 2. Pretty even teams. And as you can see, in the lower tiers now, the games really do go almost to the wire. They're no longer over in a couple of minutes. It does take almost the entire 7-minute allocation time to get these battles over and done with, which is a really good thing. So now the T1 Heavy, and it looks like his teammate has already dispatched the other red team, so it's 2 against 1. The T1 Heavy is in for a pretty tough time here. He's got 2 pretty difficult tanks to cope with. The M5 Stuart is now a fantastic tank, by the way. If you can get hold of this tank, trust me, it's a great tank. And there we go. The Stuart finally gets rid of the T1. What a fantastic game. 2 really good players, and 2,000 damage in the Crusader, a well-deserved mastery from Stanley the Fort, and I'd like to thank him for sharing that replay with us. Next, we have ClanColonelX again from Chop 2, in another Chiha, the Chinese Tier 3 medium that I said earlier is popular, and clearly it is popular because a lot of people are rolling out in it. And here we are again on mines. Now this time, unlike what MajorBlink did in his game, ClanColonelX has definitely taken the hill. And like I said in MajorBlink's game, normally the rule is if you can hold this hill and take this hill, you will generally win the game. And as you can see, the difference between MajorBlink's game and this game is that they are pushing more. They're look at the mini map. You can see where all the reds are. The reds haven't really moved that much, so they are in a position of weakness. They are extremely vulnerable, whereas ClanColonelX and his teammates can put fire down upon them. There's an this is why the hill in this map is important, guys. But you don't underestimate it. In order for it to be important, you've got to be able to spot up, and you've got to have eyes like swivels, because this can happen. Like the B1 can come round and put shots in if you're too focused on putting fire the other way. However, you've got another Chiha there helping out, protecting that rear flank. You're allowing ClanColonelX to move between the front and the back. The B1 is now in a deep pile of pain. So the Chiha on his team is now coming to help. ClanColonelX is moving back again. He sees the Hetzer. He's allowed to put shots in. Hetzer's still pretty trolly, so you're still going to make a lot of bounces on that, because don't forget that the Chiha hasn't got the best penetration at this tier, but it's not a bad tank. It's a really good tank. This is why it's so popular. I mean, in this game alone, there's what? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 Chihas. That's how popular they actually are. And they really are good tanks, guys. And if you haven't rolled out in a Chiha for a long time, then I suggest you get it and roll out in it. So there's a Chiha over there. He's not AFK, he's just camping. So this allows ClanColonelX to get some great shots in from a really good position here, just behind the brow, and he takes him out. So now he's taking his first kill. Now, as you can see, ClanColonelX's team is in a bit of trouble here because some of them did try to go to the base, which is not the best idea on this map because it allows the red team to dominate you and decimate you, which they've done. They've taken out three tanks on ClanColonelX's team. The B1 is still hanging in there, trying to hide behind this building. He's only on 26 hit points. That's a one shot for everybody. Get behind him, stick one up his rear, and there you go. Kill number 2. He's now done just shy of 500 damage. Here's the Hetzer. And the Hetzer is waiting for ClanColonelX. He's in a position whereby he can put really good shots into this Chiha. Then he decides to move. This gives ClanColonelX the advantage because ClanColonelX has got better speed and the Hetzer's mobility is pretty poor. He is now going to Circle of Death it. It's as simple as that. And if you want to know how to Circle of Death, this is how you Circle of Death. I mean, the Hetzer hasn't got a hope in hell's chance. He really hasn't. This also allows the Panzer IV-D on ClanColonelX's team to come in and just double the pain. Kill number 3. What a fantastic move that was. The Hetzer made a big mistake by moving away from his position. He had a great position, and then he decided to move, which confused me. Now it's 3 against 3, so ClanColonelX and his teammates have brought it back from the brink. There's the other Chiha. What a fantastic shot, but it was a bounce, didn't penetrate. Let's have another go. He's a one shot, and there he goes, shortly dispatched. Kill number 4. Oh, there is the little M8, which I saw earlier, and he must have been around the map. Now, as you can see, he's been playing really well. He's got 2 kills to his name, but now he's focused on the Chihi. This allows ClanColonelX and the Chiha to get behind him and really pile on a world of pain. And again, he's got much better mobility, the M8. The M8 is now in deep trouble, and ClanColonelX should be able to finish him off in pretty short order and get kill number 5. Just under 1,000 damage. What a fantastic roll. A well-deserved mastery and a shed load of other medals. And I'd like to thank ClanColonelX of Chop 2 for providing that replay because it was a fantastic game to watch. I'm going to now leave you with ClanColonelX circling to death this Hetzer, which I thought was a fantastic move. And it just goes to show that if you can use the speed and mobility to the best of your advantages, then you can really pile in the pain. I'm sure you agree that 4 games thoroughly deserved the mastery, and a big shout out goes to my good friends ClanColonelX of Chop 2, MajorBlink of FTC1, and StanleytheFort of FTC5, who without you guys this video would never have happened, so thanks for that. And if you've got replays, which you think are really good gameplay or masteries or anything that you'd like to share, please, by all means, email them to me at fujitsblitz@gmail.com because I'm more than happy to see and receive your replays. By all means, comment below, press like, even subscribe because that would be fantastic. It costs you nothing. Anyway, until the next time, guys, stay safe out there. Happy tanking and have fun on the battlefield because that's what it's all about, guys. Fun and happiness. So with that, I'd like to wish everybody a happy new year, and I really hope 2019 brings you what you want. Hey, I've been Fujit and you've been great. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I'd love if you would press subscribe. Who knows, we can do some more. By all means, drop me comments, tell me what can be improved, and tell me what you'd like to see. I really love to know. Anyway, until the next time, guys, happy tanking.